And y'all, if you don't know this already, we do have all the recordings for these trainings. They're going to be on the YouTube channel. And so there's a playlist of all of them. So you can always go back and rewatch it. There's some really, really good stuff on there that, I encourage people to come to, but it's basically pick a training and then do the action, right? Of whatever it's being said. Cool. 1 second. I'm just going to let this rock and roll. Cool. It's muted. All right, here we go. So little introduction for everybody. If you haven't met me, I'm Dustin. I know most of you probably know me, but hey, Bobby. I've been in Prove It since the beginning of time, right? I was the very first day that you could buy ketones. I bought ketones somewhere down in the genealogy of everything. And it's been an exciting 7 years. But there's one person, there's a lot of people out there, but there's one person that you're going to hear from today that has had a huge impact in my success of challenging, pushing me, and we grew a lot together. I kind of consider her more of a business partner now than it's like no more like a mentor or mentee. It's no longer a coach. It's really, we're business partners in this. I learned from her as much as she learns from me, and I truly see her as a legend in this company and in life. And so she has changed and grown so much over the last 5 years, 5.5, 6 years since we've met. As have I, and so many of us have met. But she had this really cool idea. She has all this excitement, and the one thing I'm going to tell you about Miss Cameron Moss is she shows up, and it's one of the probably the number one qualities of becoming the leader and having a great long-term success in this business is that you keep showing up and growing, and that's what I've seen from her. And so she has a really cool training today. And do me a huge favor, if you have somebody that's, that on your team and that can get on, I know it's in the middle of the day for a lot of people, invite them into this, have them listen to it live. If not, there will be a replay that will be on the YouTube channel. And I'll pulse that out later, but there'll be a replay that you guys can come back and watch this and many other trainings. So with that said and done, y'all give it up in the chat. I want you to put down legend. And I like saying that because if you want to start to believe it, right? A lot of times we see legend and we don't believe it. So when you write down legend, it's not just for her, but I want you to write down.
I am the legend.
Yes. And I want you to write down legend for yourself, right? So this is important because this is how we start to become who we want and what we want out of Prove It. And so with that said and done, y'all give it up for the legend, Cameron Moss.
Well, hello, legends. How y'all doing? If you put legend, I need you to go back and put I am the legend. Okay, cool. We're going to correct, not just me, you guys, like, don't just put legend, anchor yourself to that. So it's so funny. Like, as I'm sitting here, I'm like thinking, you never don't get nervous, right? Like I can jump on and do a live or whatever at any time. The nervousness never goes away, right? The little doubt that creeps in 5 minutes before that says what I was so excited about this morning. Now, all of a sudden I'm like, is that stupid? Is that going to make sense? Should I talk about that? Like that happens forever. And guess what? Me saying that, I say that because that ties into what I'm going to talk about today. And this journey that we're all on, we are the driver of our ship, right? Like ultimately, we are all our own business owners within Prove It. And our ability to course correct as we go and keep ourselves on track and accountable is what is going to lead us to our success. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. If we haven't met yet, I'm Cameron. It's nice to meet you. I've been in Prove It. February will be 7 years. It is so crazy. But it's such a gift. We're booking travel right now for a trip in December. And I'm like the flight booker for the whole family because everybody else searches the flight and they're like, how did you get it for $1,200? And it's showing me $3,000. And I'm like, I told my husband, when I retire, like if I ever retire from Prove It, I could be a travel agent. I could be a graphic designer. I was like making something on Canva as we were talking about it. But do you guys realize how many gifts we are getting through this business? Do you ever get hung up on looking at your paycheck and going, I only made $238 this month and I worked my ass off? Are you kidding me? Like, has anyone ever done that? I mean, I'm just being real, right? Because it happens. And it's so easy to forget, number one, how many gifts and how much growth that we're getting through the day. Please tell me who else in the world gets to get on a Zoom and be inspired and be pumped up and be given people's knowledge and value, right? At any time during a given day. Like it doesn't happen. That in itself is a gift. So that was like just an unexpected little thing that happened leading up to this, because again, I had somebody text me and they're like, oh, thank you for doing it. You know, thanks for saying this. I was doubting myself. And I'm like, I get it. That happens forever. It never goes away. Whether your back office says legend or whether it says rank 2, the same things happen. And it's our ability to recognize it and go, oh my gosh, but let me look at all the other things. Okay, back on track, right? So I was, what I want to talk to you about is, and I don't know what Dustin put when he sent it out, but undercovering and exposing the areas of your business that need focus, right? That need attention. How many of you were at ELCD? And this is going to be short. Don't worry. I got a bunch of kids coming to eat lunch in like 20 minutes. So this is going to be short and powerful. Grab a pen and paper if you have it. Okay. So at ELCD, we talked about different situations and S1 through S3, right? And they gave us a scenario and they said, rate yourself on this particular scenario situation and kind of see where you fall. So these are some situations right here. And this is like just like scrap paper thrown onto a text thing. So don't judge me. Dustin, can you mute? I think somebody's unmuted. Not you, but I'm saying, can you see who's unmuted? Okay. So situations in your business. So we have selling trial packs. We have attracting people. We have signing up customers, signing up promoters, telling your story, consistency, follow up. These are some of the important areas in our business, right? And what we should do and what I'm going to encourage you to do, and I'm going to unshare my screen in a minute. I just wanted to tell you this visual is in existence, because what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to start looking, we're going to step back for a minute. We're going to look at our business, and we're not going to say, okay, I've been in for this long and I've had this much success, and now I'm going to let that help, tell me how I feel, right? Instead, we're going to look at this and go, have I ever really looked at what transferable skills I have? Number one. Number two, what areas I'm not real confident in and where I can use support. Number three, that I actually have a business plan, right? That I know what I'm doing each day, each week, each month. And have I followed that for, let's say, 30 to 60 days, right? How many of us have actually done that? Like written it out on a piece of paper. This is what I'm great at. This is where I need work. This is the plan I follow every day. And I have followed it every single day for 30 to 60 days. I personally cannot say I've done that. Now, I've given it a good run where I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm consistent. I work my business every single day, a lot of hours. But a lot of that's busy work, right? A lot of it is us showing up and posting on social when we really get real with ourselves. And we go, am I talking to a bunch of new people? Am I making sure everybody knows that there's a business here? Am I making sure, not just am I showing up to Zooms and am I posting on social media? Is the process happening? Am I enrolling customers? Do I have people coming to me that I'm attracting? Once we look at that and we can really go, okay, this is where I need to put some focus and energy. And as a matter of fact, I've tried it before and I haven't stuck to it. So I'm going to go to my person and I'm going to say, hey, here's the situation. Here's how, can you support me in this way? Can you check in with me and say, hey, have you done that? Or can I check in with you and say, hey, I've done that, right? Does that make sense? Is everybody willing to take a moment and just, one of my mentors, she's from Australia, and she goes, you have to slow down to speed up, Cameron, because I'm always like, that was probably a terrible Australian accent, but she said, you have to slow down to speed up, right? And listen, I'm not one of these people that's like, slow down and work on yourself for 3 months and then come back to life. No. Life keeps going. You got to do what you got to do. But take like 30 minutes and look at that and get with your person and see where you're at. Because I have had this happen a few times where it's like, hey, I'm really feeling defeated. I've been doing this for 6 months, or I've been doing this for 2 years and I haven't had any success. Like it's not working. And then I start asking a couple questions and I'm like, well, what is your plan for the week? Like, what are you gauging it by? What are you doing with this? Where are the gaps? And when we start to just take and really look at it, we go, okay, I can see where I can improve, right? And the thing about this business is time isn't what equates to success here. It's kind of like, how an on the clock job, you show up and you hit the clock and you get your hours and you get paid and you go home. That's not the type of business we're in case you haven't figured that out yet. We don't get paid just to show up, right? And with that said, we can't look at time and say, oh, well, in 5 years, I should have reached this level of success because I've been here for 5 years. No, sir. No, ma'am. That's not the way it works, right? Somebody can come in 6 months have a certain level of success, but it's not a secret. We can look at it and say, oh, this is why they came in with massive influence, or they came in and they absolutely exploded their local market. Like, there's no mystery. So because there's no mystery when we look at someone's success, that means we should be able to easily figure out how to have that success, right? But a lot of times we just come in and we go, and we post and we do this and we do this. And did you guys hear Ed Milet say the only difference in, what was it, a fog light and a laser beam is what? Focus, right? Focus. I told a lady today that's been doing this for like 4 years, and she's like, I just have to make this work. I just have to make this work. I said, have we ever established a plan for what you're going to do in your business? I know you show up to Zooms. I know you do this and that. Have we ever really wrote out a plan of what your DMOs are that you're committed to, that you're in this many years? No, there's a lot of it I really don't understand. I really don't understand Freebie Friday. I really don't understand how to talk to somebody. And I'm like, wow. Look at all that time that passed that we never actually just took a moment to hone in on where we just need to make that 1 degree shift. Can you imagine all the other pillars that she's built over time? And all she needs is a little bit of streamline and focus into what her plan is. That's like the easiest thing ever, right? Like, we've done the hard stuff, but what if we just back it down for a minute and go, okay, here's what we've got. So when I love the example at ELCD, there was a situation where somebody said, oh, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Right. And so have y'all ever felt that way? I have. And Brian broke it down. He's like, but why? What are you doing when you're avoiding that? And we can all do that. Like, we can all say, well, I know if I committed this much time to my business each day in that time block, and I know I need to be talking to people, right? Or figuring out how to attract more people or whatever. But instead I ended up just doing this. And it's like, what is this? What is it? What is it? Because now we can course correct and go, okay, I know what I need to do. I can course correct and I can get back on track with where I need to go. Right. And I don't know if there's a lot of you that this is helpful and you feel this way. Okay. Because as I'm talking, I'm like, maybe I'm just talking to myself. Like, maybe I'm talking about this because I need to hear it. Right. But I know a lot of you have been here a long time, because people don't leave. Like, when we're recruiting, we don't leave. Hey, Chandler, I just saw you in the corner there. Chandler hit me up last night. This is a great example. And I'm going to challenge you guys to do this. Chandler hit me up. She's like, hey, person I was under fell off the wagon. Like, I'm feeling a little out here alone. Like, anybody ever felt that way? Yes, of course. Real life, right? We can talk about the elephants in the room. I said, Chandler, I'm here for you, sis. Like, let's talk. But know what you're getting into, because we're going to talk, we're going to make a plan, and then we're going to make sure we stick to that plan, because that's how I can be effective as a leader. And that's how you can be effective as a player in this game, to make sure that you're moving forward towards your goal. We're not here to just hang out in the infield, right? That's part of being the community. That's great and that's fun. But listen, if you don't know how to get to that next 10 yards, you better go ask somebody, right? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Like, that's one thing I heard over and over again at events, and from Brian and from Dustin. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. You're not bothering anybody. How many times have you been told you're not bothering anybody? We still feel like we're bothering people. We still feel like we're asking a stupid question. We still feel like no, people are giving you permission, because guess what? When you come and you ask for it, then that leader can give you that, but that might be all you need. Like, them giving you that answer to what you need and you being able to go, and that's all you needed. That's a win-win for both, right? We can always be better communicators with our support person, so that we're not out here alone, just sitting here like running the field back and forth this way. We're actually moving forward. Let me just look at my notes that I didn't follow at all and see if I missed anything here. Dustin, any thoughts on that?
Oh, I got so many. I'll let you regroup for a second. First off, I got to repeat one of the quotes. We are not here to hang out in the infields. Cameron Moss. I've never heard that before. I think that was great. And then I'm going to go back and watch the recording of what you said next because I couldn't write that fast. One of the things that I was talking with Rutherford the other day is, we know that Michael's like, we don't need all these events. People know what to do. But what I found is that a lot of times people don't believe, not just in themselves, maybe they have some, and we all have our limiting beliefs that we're working through and growing through. And that's coming to events, coming to prove it, growing. At the same time, that people believing in their own plan. I'm working with a gentleman right now, and that's where he's gapped. His belief of himself has been wavering, but his belief in his own plan is wavering. So I think taking the notes of, of what's your an intentional action, what's your focused action, what are you great at? Like, that's the transferable skills. And I think people maybe don't realize what they're great at. And I think you could ask 5 of your friends, hey, what am I great at? And they'll tell you, you're great at giving love. Right, Dina? You're great at giving, compassion. You're great at giving advice on health and wellness. You're great at giving like recipe ideas. You're great at giving dog tips. You're great at, at loving your animals. Whatever it is, you're great at gardening, right? There's some things in there that you're great at. And then now you get to believe that you're great at it. So when you put your plan together, you have some belief in your own plan. So Cameron, I think that was a really, really awesomely said. So
good. So what I would say, one of my challenges to you is take a moment, evaluate your business, make some notes, gauge the areas that you need support, reach out and get the support, ask the questions. If there's an area that your skill is low, just take a moment and hone in on that, right? Just for a moment. And then get with your coach, like have your plan, stick to it, give it a good 30 to 60 day run of following the same plan, no matter what, no matter if you're seeing results or not, no matter what. I've seen a lot of you been going live since the event after hearing Katie talk about that and stuff. Good for you. Keep at it, right? Now's when it matters. Weeks after is when it matters. That's when most people quit. So push through when you feel like quitting on that. If you said you were going to do something, like go back to your notes. I have my notes right here from the event. Keep these in front of you. It's so easy to forget all this stuff. Keep revisiting it. And if you didn't do something you said you were going to do when you got home, start now, right? Start now. And then unrelated to what we talked about, and if it's helpful, I can throw that, Dustin, I can send you that image. Like, it's not pretty, but if it helps you guys just look at the different areas and kind of remember what each one is. But another thing is, I want to use Janet as an example really quick, because Janet, I was going to text you and give you this action step, but I'll just do it live here on the Zoom. So y'all, Janet is, she's a new promoter. So first of all, give her a welcome. She's been in about a month. She's in Central Florida. And Janet, what kind of business do you have? Unmute and say it real quick.
I have a baby shop.
A baby shop. Who shops in baby shops, y'all? Moms and dads, right? But okay, so Janet, what have you done for the last 30 years? Like, what's your background? What are you?
I'm a doula and childbirth educator.
Okay. Do you guys think that Janet has an amazing market of people that need ketones or what, right? Okay, so they're like, heck yeah. So yesterday, Janet and I were talking, and she's doing some cool stuff in her store. She's doing Tasty Thursday?
Yeah.
And tell them real quick what Tasty Thursday is.
So it's where they can come in and they can, actually taste I call it Mama's Happy Juice here. That's what I refer to it as. And then they also get entered into a drawing to win like a little sample pack. It's not a trial pack by any means, but, 1 or 2, just so I have a name and phone number to follow up with. Because I don't, a lot of people that come in, I don't know them. They're going to taste it and go out the door, and I might never see them again. So.
Love it. Love it. So Janet and I were talking yesterday, and she's been building this kind of through the store and some of this, but she wants it to go faster, right? We always want it to go faster. We're like, no, but I want to hit all my markers and I want to hit all my bonuses. And, we had a hurricane here in Florida and some stuff that's kind of like, business storefronts a little slow. So I'm like, okay, what other areas can we do? And Janet, the challenge that I want to give you, and I want to give this to all of you, because everybody can do this, right? So is think about another area of your life outside of ketones that you can give value. So I told Janet, I said, oh my gosh, like you could do, so my action step to you, Janet, was what's 10 like 30-second snippets of value that you can give people. Right. So for Janet, my head goes to mom stuff, right? Like pregnancy stuff. I don't know, doula, that's like the baby world. Right. But listen, some of you are realtors. You can give a realtor tip. Some of you are teachers. Some of you have just had kids. Some of you have grandkids. Some of you have funny stories you can tell. Some of you, it's recipes. What is something else you can do? And I want you to come up with 10. I want you to create 10 pieces of content by what's today? Okay, by Sunday. Okay. And use that on your socials, not ketone related. It can be a workout. If you're a coach, it can be a workout. Liam, what do you do? Unmute real quick. Tell me what you do. By the way, hi, I haven't seen you in forever and it's good to see your face again, but tell me what you do for work.
I'm in sales management.
Ooh, sales management. You guys think Liam has some good sales tips? I mean, are you kidding me? Okay. So thank you for that. I just saw that focus and I'm like, I'm focused. What do you got? Okay. So that's everyone here's action step. Is there anyone that feels like they can't do that? We're going to be off of here in 2 minutes. Is there anybody that feels like you have no idea what you could do it about? Okay, great.
Come on, let's be bold here in the chat. Put it down. What's the one thing that you feel like you can deliver? Let's put it in the chat. Because I get this. This is the number, Cameron, just so you know, this is the number one thing I get from people. And what I think they believe is they don't think it's that important because it's so simple to them or normal to them. They don't realize how valuable it is to others, y'all. And I always remind people, one of the biggest movements in the world of YouTube was how to fold a fitted sheet. Mm-hmm. That's what made YouTube really famous many, many years ago. How to fold a fitted sheet. Y'all, it doesn't have to be crazy stuff. It could be really simple things around the house, cleaning. I mean, it can be anything.
Yes. Oh, I love these. I'm seeing all these. Okay. So this is a challenge for you guys because I didn't listen to Dustin in the very beginning when he told me to make hair videos. And guess what brings in 70% of the eyeballs that see my stuff and end up drinking ketones? Hair videos, silly old hair videos. Like it's great, literally like twisting my hair and putting a bobby pin in it. So don't devalue the things that you have that'll put more people in front of you. So 10 pieces of content by Sunday. Don't overthink it. Prop your camera up, shoot a video, record it on your camera. You can upload it to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you don't know, Google, YouTube, whatever, get it out there. Because our goal here is to get more eyeballs in front of us. Our job, and as far as I'm concerned, what we do, is we get more eyeballs in front of us. We give more value to the world and we live our journey out loud with ketones and our business. And as we do that, the people that we get in front of us for whatever reason, they have the opportunity to come join us in what we do. We get more eyeballs in front of us and we master attraction marketing. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope you take me up on that challenge because when you do that, you're going to uncover areas of skill set and skill sets that you bring to the table that you forgot about. Okay. All right. That's all I got. I got kids. Look, y'all say
you go do that. I'm gonna wrap up one thing with
all
an action step. So here's what I want to just when Cameron was talking, it just woke up a little giant in me. Would you all agree that your job is to attract new people towards you, right? If you want to grow a business, we're going to learn to lead, right? But we're also going to attract new people to us. Is everybody on page with what that means? I want to put this, paint a little picture here. Okay. So, and this is social media. This is out in town. It's everywhere. Attraction is not just social media. Dina, I was just talking about you. So I want you to write this down. To have success in this business, you'll want to be excited. And excitement looks different for everybody. Y'all, I'm animated, excited, like I get really amped. Chad, on the other hand, gets excited, but I actually scare people sometimes. I'm so excited. Or Chad's excitement is different. It's more, he emanates, it's more of a glow. It's more of a comfortability with him. Does that make any sense? Mary, I can see the same in you, right? You're just comfortable. You got the big smile on your face. So number one, you got to be excited. Number two, I want you to write this down. It's saying the same thing to new people. How many of you post, let's say on a strategy that Cameron's talking about, or if you haven't, that's okay. But if you've been posting and you're like, I say the same thing, or I got to say something new, my people are going to get bored with what I'm saying. Does that ever occur to you? You're like, I just feel like I'm saying the same thing. Okay. I want you to put this in your mind for a second. If you bring on 10 new followers, either out in town, meaning that you go to a party, if you go to a party, I'm going to back up for a second. What was said to you, or what did you see to join Prove It? Put in the chat, please. What was said to you, or what did you see to join Prove It? Oh, this is gonna be so good. TikTok, but what? Not how, but what was said, Leanne? Like what was the thing? What was the exact thing that was said? Sisters Energy. Okay, opportunity, amazing technology. But let's be more specific. What? Like, was it just a picture saying like Liam said, I'm not to call you out, Liam. I don't know if we know each other actually. The opportunity of amazing technology, but what was actually said? What was the words? For me, Michael said, what if you could drink ketones? And then he said, if I could make $50,000 and lose 50 pounds and make $50,000, I would want to learn about that. Right? That's what was said to me that got me interested. Cool. Watching Mary Beth, but what was said? This is important. What was actually said? Hunting, Prove It down. Awesome. But why? What was said? So right now, here, first one, transformation picture. Tracy, unmute, please. This is really important. I wish Cameron was still listening in. I know she has a baby she's taking care of.
Yes.
No. Tracy, where you at?
Right here.
Okay. Hey, Tracy, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. What describe that picture for me?
So I had a friend that I had known for a long time, and I went to a yard sale she was having, and she was literally sitting in the chair, like so uncomfortable. Like she was so heavy set, like she had a hard time breathing. And I was like, I left that yard sale and I was like, wow, she's really put on a lot of weight, bless her heart. And then like 3 months later, she posted a transformation picture on Facebook. And I seen it and I'm like, wow, I had literally just seen her 3 months ago and she looked so uncomfortable. And right now she looks amazing. She was down like 25 pounds. So I reached out to her right away because I knew I needed to lose weight. I was 220, I don't even remember how much, 220 some pounds. And I knew I needed to do something because diabetes runs in my family, and everything I've tried, I couldn't stick to it. So I reached out to her. She told me what she was drinking. I met her that same day and got a 5-day trial pack. And that's where my ketone journey began.
Okay. So you want to become a legend and Prove It?
Yeah.
Just tell that story. Don't change it.
Okay.
Too many people are trying to tell a different story than what attracted them. If it's good enough to attract you, it's good enough to attract 99% of your audience. Does that make sense? So like you all see how it's actually hard for people to write down what they actually saw. What was the thing that attracted you to it? Does that make sense? This is really good. Up with fat loss energy, but what did you see? So you see I'm gonna read Kate's Facebook page. I found something that makes me feel like a mom my kids deserve. So that's what Kate saw that made her feel like I need to check this out. Does that make sense? So guess what? That same message is the same message that Kate delivers very often. Why is she really good at this? Because she's keeping the same message. Now you can get fancy, but remember what I said. I hadn't said it yet. You're saying, I want you to write this down. You're saying the same thing to new people. You're not saying new things to the same people. If you start saying a lot of new things to the new people, they're not, they like, if you already lost 100 pounds and your audience is still people that are 300 pounds and you start talking about mental clarity, but the reason you were attracted was for fat loss. Do you see how that's an incongruent message to the person that you were when you started? When you started, you're like, I don't care about mental clarity. I just want to lose weight. Now it'd be nice, but that's not what attracted you. You tracking me here? For me, it was really business, right? But if I just started talking only about ketones, which I did, guess what? My business slowed down because that's not what I was attracted to. My audience is very ambitious based. They need more money. So I still talk a lot about, I got back to talking about why I joined, because if it was good enough for me, it's good enough for all the other fitness trainers out there in the world. Does that make sense? We track in here. I'm actually almost blown away a little bit by how hard it is for people to write down what actually attracted them to prove it. What was the actual thing? And what I found is that majority people come for fat loss. It's a transformation picture, or somebody talked about losing weight. Not everybody, but majority. And the one thing they never talk about is their fat loss story. They talk about, this is my mom fuel, which is great. But the reality is that's maybe not why you actually joined. It might be, but you actually joined because you really cared about looking better in a pair of jeans. Y'all tracking with me here? And so this is important, because if that's what attracted you, then why wouldn't you give that same message to your entire audience? Because that's probably what's going to attract them. Now, be congruent to you. This is one of your action steps for the day. And I want you to finish what Cameron had said, because if you think about this, if you're right now going out and finding 10 new people out in public, going to 10 garage sales a day or a week, and you're meeting new people, what do you really need to say to them? The same thing that was said to you. Does that make sense? If you're a fit buff person like Michelle that loves to do CrossFit, well, guess what? I'm willing to bet that 99% of her friends do not need to lose 100 pounds. It's just the way it works. So if she's talking about weight loss to those people, it may not be congruent, but that's not why she came. She came because she loves science, she loves fitness, and she's like, wow, this is a performance tool that I can use to my workout. Well, guess what? She should talk to her friends about. They like to work out, right? So about the performance side of working out. If it was good enough for her, it's good enough for them. Cool? Are we tracking here? Let's try this one more time. All right. I don't have to take naps anymore from our daughter. Awesome. So Debbie, Matt, they could talk about energy. Well, guess what? When you get in your 60s, energy is an important thing. A lot of people don't have, right? Now he has a transformation photo that he can use too. So that's another avenue. But at the same time, what was said to him is probably good enough for all of his audience. When I'm saying this, I think about myself. It's to get into ketosis in 60 minutes without the ketogenic diet. Okay. So now, Leanne, just so you know, if you're not talking to people that are wanting to or doing the ketogenic diet, then that might not go over very well. Fair enough. So start looking at it. Why are you doing the ketogenic diet? What was the reason you wanted? When you heard that, what did it make you think about? Oh my goodness, I can lose weight without doing the ketogenic diet. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying if that's true, then that's your deliberate message. I can burn fat without doing the ketogenic diet. Oh my goodness, this is a game changer. If that's true, right? It was more about my friend said, she said, I know Kate, but she looks totally different. Cool. That we have to find a way to wrap that somewhere differently because not everybody knows Kate. So find a way, Karen, to write that a little differently. Amanda posted, who wants to start their own business or something similar? Coley, can you unmute by chance? Is this helpful, you all? Cameron, you got me fired up. I'm going to go back to and wrap up what Cameron said. I just wanted to touch on this because at the end of the day, what Cameron's trying to get you to do is to be consistent on posting something. And if you have 10 really good posts, I don't know if Coley can unmute, but if she can, please do. If you have 10 good posts that you can write about something that you're passionate about, you can teach, or that I'm telling you, I literally told Cameron from day one, only post about hair and makeup and because that's what she's great at, right? She wanted to talk about ketones. And then finally she shifted over. TikTok gave her the opportunity to shift over. And she realized that's actually her audience, that they also need energy, focus, mood, sleep, and fat loss, right? But if you have 10 posts that you can do, or 10 messages that you can be, if you're really into gardening, Carol, you go to the garden shops. Well, guess what? You're saying the same thing to the person. When you walk into a garden shop, you're not going to make up a whole new topic when you walk in. It's about dirt. It's about plants. It's about watering. It's about the seasons. It's not any different than that, right? You're not going to make up something new to talk to them. It's the same conversation. So if you're attracting people on social media, if you have 10 new people a month that you attracted, friends, attraction, people started following you, well, they want to know what you got interested in the beginning. Remember, they're just starting with you. So if you start talking about things that aren't relevant to when you started, well, you just missed the 10 new friends. They don't know what you're talking about. So that's mastering the simplicity of our business model. So when you get excited about something, it's literally saying the same thing over. Now you might say with a different shirt on, a different hat on, a different energy, a different background. You might say the same thing with a little different flair, but it's really saying the same thing. Does that make any sense? You know, you all know who's the most gifted at this business than anybody in the entire company. Maybe he's world-class in the industry of community-based marketing. You all know his name? There's one person in here that's better than that I've ever met in this industry. And it blows my mind. Sometimes I literally think he's crazy. And I'm like, how is this even possible? And there it is, Michael Rutherford. Why? When you hear that man's talk, he tells you the same story. He never once deviates from the story. It's the same story from the day one. It's never been any different. The only thing that's changed in his story is that he says, I'm going to lose 50 pounds when he started. Once he lost the 50 pounds, he's like, I lost 50 pounds, I made 50 grand a month. That's the story. He doesn't ever change it. I know nothing about ketones. I lost 50 pounds, made 50 grand a month. It's the same story. But when he started, he said, I'm going to lose 50 pounds and I'm going to make 50 grand a month. He tells the same story. Now, it's not about the weight and it's not about the money. What it's about is he was excited and he knows that he's talking to the same person that he was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Does that make sense? He's not talking to the person that he is now. He's talking to the person that he is when he started. You tracking me here? Okay, so last action step with Cameron in the chat. I want you to put down what is that one thing that you can be, teach, or do. What's that transferable skill? What's that? If you're to text 3 friends right now and say, I'm looking at Brad Knowles right now. The guy is gifted with feet. He knows feet better than anybody in the planet, right? So he can grow an audience around the feet. True story. Isn't that right, Brad? Kate Higdon, easy low carb recipes for busy moms. Easy low carb recipe that's Kate's. She's crushing that. Right? What's the one thing I want you to put in the chat? And then I'll let you guys go. Oh, I do have to talk about one more thing, but in the chat. Is this hard for people? It is. Bobby, you want me to give you yours? How a busy mom lost 50 pounds? How much?
30.
30. How a busy mom lost 30 pounds.
That's easy. Okay.
It's easy. I ate this, I drank this, I did this, and I live this way now. It doesn't have to be, because that's something you did. Now it could be different. You could teach mom skills. Maybe you don't like mom skills, so don't teach that. All right, simple parenting hacks. Awesome. Simple parenting hacks. I like it. Fat loss. Absolutely. Time-saving foods for parents. Boom. That's a good one. Over 50, regaining my energy. Awesome. What does that look like? Healing of foods. Healing with foods. And then what Cameron said is write these down and then commit to 10 or commit to 30 days, but write 10 different ideas around that. If you can't get 10 ideas around that, it's probably not the right thing. If that makes sense, that means it's not really inside of you. It's like an idea. That's okay. You know, you can create anything. Kate was not a cook before. She is now. Learning how to build healthy habits that last. Awesome. Don't overthink this, y'all. Liam could literally teach 10 different swimming strokes and then repeat it every 10 days and never change it and grow an empire. I'm just telling you. The second steps of attraction is you have to get in front of that audience, right? That's other strategies. If you don't go to the pool, well, then you don't know who to talk to, right? If you don't post on social media or follow those people and then in front of the right audience, you have to get in front of that audience. That's another skill set. But I think what Cameron's trying to show you is that you all have skill sets that you can deliver. How to drink a cup of coffee properly. You could literally build a business on that. I'm telling you, it's anything that you're committed to. But you have to be committed to it with the right energy. If you don't actually have excitement behind it, you probably won't go very far. Just telling you, because you're just posting to post rather than posting with an intention. Remember, she said a focused action or a focus towards your intention. Be more of you more often in front of more people. I love that. So custom tumblers make it okay to post about them. Why not? I just wouldn't post Prove It custom tumblers. Does that make sense? I wouldn't try to compete with Prove It's branding and stuff like that. Oh, I know fat loss. I can drop 20 this month if I want to. What else do we got? Anybody else? So this is something, if you're struggling with this, what I want you to do is this is where you hit your coach on and say, hey, what do I like? I need to find something. But my secret is go to your, 3 best friends and say, hey, what's one thing I'm really good at? What's one thing? Because your friends know you the best, right? Your coach might not know some of the ins and outs of you. You're like, oh yeah, I used to teach, 2nd grade 10 years ago, and I can teach little kids how to read better. We're working with our son to become a better reader, right? Well, I would love tips on that. I don't know a damn thing about reading, and I don't have it. This is my first 8-year-old, so I don't know a lot. Does that make sense? So if I saw that, I would be interested in that because it's something that would be pertinent to me. Okay, cool. All right, last little thing is dig into this. Find those 10 things, write them down, get them on paper, commit to 30 days, like Cameron said. Last thing here is tonight's guest call. If you would do, I'm going to be one of the people on there. I'll shower, shave, and I'm going to even go to the bathroom before, wash my body up. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be, it's going to be awesome. So this is an opportunity. If you guys are committed to getting on the call tonight, I've already put a 1 in the chat. Get on the call tonight. But I would tell everybody 3 to 5 people, and we're going to do a really cool challenge on the promoter page where if you get 3 people on as guests, you put that how many people you get in the chat, and we're going to do a giveaway. So it's going to be really, really fun tonight. It's going to be really, really cool. And we're excited about tonight's call. It's going to be really, 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 really good call. And this is a great call to invite people to. You got Stephanie Milkey, mom of 4, homeschooling mom that needed $400 a month. You got the Marine that needed to change his life and get his health back. You have Katie Rollins, who is just a mom that needed to live better and find better in her life. And it started with the product. So you're going to get those stories wrapped up into a bow, and it's going to be delivered amazingly. So everybody give a shout out to Cameron Moss. If you don't know her already, just, tag her on Instagram. If you took a picture. She's an amazing gem. She's done a great things. And what she had said to me was super powerful. So y'all, appreciate you. Thanks, Cameron. I appreciate you so much. And let's have some fun today. Game on. See you tonight.